My phone's right here. We're talking about FDA today.
Yeah.
You ready?
All right, everyone. Quiet on this set. All right, we're going live here in 5,
5,
4,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
uno. You're up.
Welcome, everybody,
You're
to
live.
another episode of Dr. Reese Live. This is episode 1, 2, 3. I'm your host, Coach Sean. Alongside with me is, right now, it's just Karen in the members room.
123, huh?
Yeah, 123.
Mm,
And of course, we have our fake doctor,
yeah.
Dr. Reese, the first head-to-toe healer in the world. How are you doing today, my man?
I'm good.
What's his name?
Doesn't have a name yet. Doesn't have a name yet. I keep him around in case I gotta give a posture demonstration.
Yeah.
I figured the little skeleton is actually easier than the big one.
Low bones.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm about 10 chapters deep on the new book.
Yeah.
And so that's going.
How many chapters do you want to have?
Probably about 20.
Okay. Halfway.
Yeah.
When do you think it's going to be ready? Next year?
Like done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the idea is to have it done right before the annual seminar.
Oh, yeah, because you got to do an audio of it.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's always the hardest part, is getting in the booth and just reading for hours and hours and hours.
Without messing up. Like, that's your specialty, to just do it an hour straight without.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, so, but we'll get it done.
Yeah.
And I have some other books that I'm writing in my head, so I might just write them all at the same time and just get them done. I don't want to be writing books in my 50s. Let's just get it done. Let's just be done.
Yeah. Wow, so it's going to be more than the trilogy.
And then, just release one every year for the seminar.
Oh, okay.
So every seminar is a new book.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And, new people coming into the membership every day. So really loving how this community is growing. And we extended the special for $55 a month.
Yes, we
until
did.
December 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to join my skeleton friend and learn about the femurs and the tib fibs and the hallucis and the elephant ears, come on in. All right, anyway.
No,
Go.
I've been seeing and hearing so many results from the posture class alone.
Oh, yeah.
Every day, it's like someone gets this new testimony. They're like, wow, I can hear. Or it's just like the wildest, something. They're sleeping better due to just posture therapy.
It's awesome because, when we made the switch and we went to a membership format, remember the big question was, are you still going to get the same results? So far so good.
So far so good. And it's a community. That's the big part of it. Like, everybody knows each other. We welcome new people.
We're AA for
Yeah.
broken bodies.
Dr. G.
That's all. That's it. That's all. There's always a place to go where everybody knows your name. Boom, 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 and we're always glad you came. I want to make a hip hop version of that. That should be the intro song.
Oh my gosh. We need an intro and an outro. That would be amazing.
Yeah, man. So That's the thing is, we're live every day.
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm working on a Saturday and a Sunday too.
We'll see.
So, I want to be live every single day so that people always have a place. So even if somebody takes 2 weeks off, at some point they're going to get that itch. They're going to be like, I really need to get back on, I need to get back on my game. And so how do I get back on my game? Well, just show up to a meeting.
Yeah.
That's what they do in AA. You're having a bad day, you have a bad experience, what do? You're like, I got to get to a meeting.
People that understand.
Yeah. And it works. It's been working for decades, so I think it's a good model,
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, we got a special topic today, correct?
It's a dark topic.
Dark topic?
Yeah, man, this is Darth Vader stuff here.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's just gloomy and just deceptive. FDA.
Yeah.
How do they interfere with holistic care or just any type of care in general?
Yeah, so the FDA is the Food and Drug Administration, and their job is supposed to be to protect the people. That's their job. But what has happened is they've turned into a suppressor of freedom of speech.
Yeah.
So, like when you go to our website and you see a disclaimer on the bottom, that's because of the FDA. You see a disclaimer on your supplements, that's because of the FDA. The FDA only approves what they want to approve.
It's just so weird.
They're saying that the people are dumb and they know best. It's essentially what they're saying. And so they don't approve any natural supplements. They don't approve any herbs. They don't approve any capsules, any tinctures. But they approve sugary cereals. They approve candy. They approve every junk food that you see at your store is approved by the FDA. So they're obviously approving destructive foods, which we call the poor four foods. Gluten, oil, fried, and fake. Gluten, oil, fried, and fake. So that right there, we're off to a bad start.
Yeah.
But not only that, they also approve drugs.
Yeah, isn't it like, aren't they funded by pharma themselves?
So they didn't used to be.
Really?
So what happened was they needed to make extra money. So a new act was signed into law by George Bush, the first George Bush. And he signed in the law that made it so that they can collect fees. So for example, if Pfizer wanted to get a new drug approved, they would do an application and they would pay a very, very big fee. That fee goes into the budget of the FDA. So now the FDA is making a whole lot of money. So now what's happened is drugs used to take 3 years to get approved.
Oh.
Now they're approved inside of a year.
Without any, don't they have to go through, clinical trials, so it's getting approved before the trial?
But that's sponsored as well. So we're in a sponsored system type of thing, And so there's a lot of drugs out there that are experimental. And so the American people, I can't speak for other countries, but the American people are lab rats for 1, 2, 3 years. And then as the reports come in that there's side effects and this, that, and the other, then they go and they take it off the shelf. Ozempic is a great example. That was supposed to be a diabetic drug. And they said, oh, let's take it off the shelf. They revamped it, and then they made it a weight loss drug. And it's making a lot of money right now.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the number 2 drug in the world right now, Ozempic.
Wow.
Yep. I know a lot of people on it. I know people who aren't even fat on it. They just want to lose another 10 pounds. It's like, all right, this is getting a little out of control.
Do you know some of the side effects of Ozempic?
Not off the top of my head, but I can imagine that they're not very good.
Yeah. Wow. I remember I saw like one of the directors were being questioned, one of the FDA directors, and it was for like a lotion. And they said like the lotion, they just asked them all these questions. Can the lotion be reviewed for like safety? They were like, no, we can't do that. The lotion, can it be like restricted? They can't restrict it.
Yeah.
If there was toxic ingredients in the lotion, they could not restrict it from going out. They couldn't even give safety information on dosage or anything along those lines for
Right.
it to go out.
Right.
But they're worried and they're putting all this stipulation on supplements.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. And what happened was, so back in the early 80s, before you were born, we had this thing called AIDS. There was an AIDS epidemic. People didn't know what it was, and they freaked out. Everybody freaked out there because they saw people dying in front of them, like withering down to bones. And the AIDS activists were saying, we need the drugs. We need the drugs. Where's the drugs? And the pharmaceutical companies were, they had experimental drugs. And the FDA wasn't approving it because they were doing their job. They're like, well, the drugs are new and we don't want to take a risk and this, that, and the other. Then a very famous man by the name of Magic Johnson announced that he had HIV in 1991. I remember it clear as day because I was a sports fan. I was, 12 years old maybe. I was 12 or something. And we all sat there in front of the TV like, it was big. It was a really big deal. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but it was like, it shook the country. It was like, whoa. And everyone thought that Magic Johnson was going to die in front of our eyes. He was a very, very famous man. He still is. He's still around. FYI, Magic's still here, right? And that sped things up. And so that's what got George Bush to sign the act.
Really?
And once the act was signed, they could bring in the drugs. And then from there on out, all the drugs got rushed. So from about 1992 on, the drugs that hit the market are very experimental. Meanwhile, they don't care about vitamins and minerals, the stuff that makes our body, the raw material that makes our body are criticized and looked at as quackery. You might be surprised to know that supplements were considered food additives up until 1999. Food additives. And because they were considered food additives, the FDA had a major control over them. Thankfully, we had a lot of natural health pioneers really, really speak up. And they started suing the FDA. They started going to court. It was the only way. One of them is one of my teachers, Dr. Joel Wallach. He had the resources, You got to have resources to go after the FDA.
Yeah.
So there was a case in 1999 and the FDA lost. And that made it possible to make claims, quality health claims, that, you could say things like, essential fatty acids may prevent coronary heart disease.
May is crazy.
But what they did is, so now the FDA was like, all right, okay, you wanna be able to make these claims, okay, but we're demanding that you don't make it absolute. So we had to start using words like may and possibly. You know, it's like eating grapes could move your lymphatic system, not will, could. You know, and so everything is very touchy with the language. And then they made it so that you had to put a disclaimer on the product as well. So if you look at your supplements very carefully, somewhere on there it'll say, this product is not reviewed by the FDA, blah, 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 blah. So anyone that's already programmed by the medical monopoly is going to look at the product and say, yeah, this is snake oil.
Yeah.
It's not approved by my government agency. And so it's just the programming. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think a lot of people have woken up to this type of stuff. I think the so-called pandemic that just passed a few years ago was woke a lot of people up.
Yeah, I think it was needed. It gave people like the chance to step back and say, like, what is actually in my food? What am I actually getting every day? It's like, I think it was a good time. Well, not good all the way, but I think it was necessary in order to kind of wake everybody up.
And shout out to Dr. Joel Wallach, because he also sued the FDA in order to be able to legally say selenium may prevent certain cancers. That's a legal statement.
But he was responsible for like the SIDS, right?
That too.
It's crazy.
A lot of things. Because he was brave enough to take them to court.
Jeez.
But before 1999, you couldn't say any of that. It was completely controlled and suppressed. You know? And so that's just one of the many reasons why we record everything. We get everyone on camera.
Yeah.
Every time one of these members talks about, hey, you know, I had tinnitus for 20 years and it's gone, you know, or I've had hip pain for 40 years and it's gone, you know, it's just more evidence being captured on video.
That's why you call it the case study.
It's the case study. You can't make this stuff up unless I gave all these people money, which would mean I'm a billionaire or something. But that's not the case. People are really healing. And agencies like the FDA, they don't want to hear that. You know, the medical boards don't want to hear that either. In the 1980s, another one of my teachers, Dr. Sabi, he got brought into court for making false claims too. And he brought in 70 people. 70 people came to court and said, no, I had this and I don't have this anymore because of that guy. And the court had no choice but to let him go. They let him go. 70 people testified for him. So, are you guys ready to make a trip to Connecticut? Well, hopefully, the videos are enough. But what I've been doing is I've been doing my best to stick to just one claim. Instead of saying, yeah, we can reverse this, we can get rid of that, we can cure this, we can do that, I just say, We have the most healing results ever recorded on video.
Mm.
That's it. Claim over. So I don't know who can get me on that.
It does bring a little bit of hope, though. You know, like,
I hope it brings a lot of hope.
yeah. People, like, if we come together, we can at least combat a whole agency funded by a multi-billion-dollar agency.
Yeah.
It's just crazy what everything has come to.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how long it lasts with social media taking off. Social media is the great game changer
Yeah.
because now people can exercise their freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You see it all the time under like certain doctor posts. They'll say like they'll make claims and stuff like that, and you'll see the comments. They're just like, "That's incorrect." It's like, "This helped me. Going natural helped me," and it's a beautiful thing just to see all of those comments bombarding. Even under your page, if anybody comes with like any negative or just like medical monopoly-esque thing to say, you see all of the replies saying like, "Nope, this helped me. This, I benefited from this," and whatever. So it's cool. I think we're making some movement.
Absolutely. And the Facebook page is just growing.
Yeah, growing like insane.
The TikTok page is growing. I think the TikTok page is going up 30,000 people a month. 30,000 people a month. The Facebook page is growing between 20 and 25,000 people a month. The Instagram doesn't move. I don't know why. Some say Instagram's just a dating website on the low.
Yeah, probably.
But the Facebook and the TikTok are just growing like weeds.
Mm.
And so there's constantly new people coming in and they're confused at first. They're just like, what?
Yeah.
Statins, what? They're like, PPIs, what? Acid reflux, what? Like, what? What do you mean my doctor this, And then all the members here in our Zoom room, they're all used to everything. But just imagine being completely new and coming in yesterday. And you're just like, what? Say that again? What?
Yeah.
And so I have to continuously repeat myself and, start from ground zero. Every 3 days is ground zero. It's
Yeah.
like, So I did a pop-up live over the weekend on TikTok for the first time in 6 months.
Oh, really? TikTok?
First time in 6 months. And, man, a lot of new people.
Yeah.
A lot of new people. So.
Do you think when your book comes out, the new book, do you think that's going to like really put the fire?
Dude, bro. This next book is the one.
Yeah.
It's the one. It's
What'd you
hard.
say?
It's Jay-Z Hard Knock Life.
You said it was a weapon of mass destruction.
It's a weapon of mass destruction.
Wow.
And it will be the biggest selling book. It'll be the most influential book. It's gonna sell like crazy because it's a topic and that everyone can understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a full out like attack, kind of.
It's an expose.
Yeah. Whew.
It's gonna be about the same size as Peace Over Pain.
Mm-hmm.
Short. It's gonna be small, just like this. This is what people want. They want short and to the point. No jokes, no fluff, no nothing. Just a smack in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a wake up call.
Yeah.
And I think people can just take the new book and give it to their friends and family that are still asleep. And then if they want more info, then you go back and give them Peace Over Pain.
Mm-hmm.
But keep in mind, when I wrote this book, this little book, there wasn't a fan base.
Yeah.
There wasn't a fan base at all. None of you were here. None of you. Sean and Levi weren't even here. No, Karen was. I didn't even know who Karen was. this is a long time ago. It's a long time ago. So, the new book is gonna have a launching pad. It's the first book ever that is gonna have a launching pad. So.
And you're gonna have like actual like stories from people that we've worked with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still debating on how to present that part. We might do screenshots from social. But yeah. It's going to be a little monster. So that'll be probably May. And then we'll have the annual seminar.
Okay.
And we're getting probably getting an auditorium. So 300 seats if anyone can make it.
Okay.
So
okay.
We're just gonna give Levi a mic and see what he says in front of 300 people.
Hey,
Is this thing on?
Exactly. So really quick, I wanted to hop over to Coach Karen, and well, if you had anything to say, you can say it. Did you have anything?
Hi, everybody. I have something to say. No, what's really intriguing to me is the FDA. How can they have food and drug administration together? Food, if it's processed foods, if it's fake foods, doesn't that mean it's feeding the drug administration?
Yep. That's correct.
Good point.
That is correct.
Almost like it's by design. Processed food. I heard that like over the subsidies that our government has is like 90% of it is processed food. Now, I can't like probably I would say around 90, like 80 to 90% is processed food. So the government is directly funding the processed foods that then go into people, and then the drugs come after it. That's insane. It seems like, I don't know. It's crazy. But did you notice did anybody have any comments or questions in the members room?
Yeah, there's quite a few. A lot of people jumped on the Ozempic topic. And with that, a couple people were saying there's 15 different side effects.
Wow.
With that. Also, once you stop it, the weight comes back. And I met somebody, I want to say a month and a half ago, and she totally changed. She lost, I don't know, 30 pounds. She looked completely different. And she was about ready to get off of Ozempic. And I go, what are you going to do now? And she didn't have an answer for that. You know, and then of course I'm telling her gluten, oil, fried and fake. This is your answer. But her mindset wasn't there yet. So she's still in the medical system mentality. And I think that's the challenging part with drugs that help you lose weight. People are looking for the quick fix, and they think it's going to be the be-all end-all permanent solution, but they don't think about the ramifications of side effects or what could happen later.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Diet needs to change.
Mm-hmm. And you need to move.
Yeah. A couple other comments were Ozempic causes slow digestion and nausea is a big side effect.
Okay.
And also it causes stomach paralysis.
Paralysis. Wow. Jeez.
I would imagine as time goes on, since this is relatively new, these are going to be people that find us down the road that have more symptoms in our analysis symptom score because of trying something different. It's so hard to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then actually speaking of that, Coach Sean, could you talk about the benefits of doing the analysis, why that's so important for people? Because there might be some new people that are just listening for the first time and they like what we have to say, but they really don't understand where to begin.
Well, yeah, that the analysis is that first step. It's testing all the other areas outside of the blood. And what Dr. Reese does, he focuses on his 3 macro methods: the posture, nutrition, and mindfulness. All of that is tested in the analysis. That's to give you your basis to understand what's going on in your body, what's happening as far as your root causes to your postural dysfunctions, your nutritional deficiencies. And with mindfulness, we give that to everybody because it's a stressful world we're living in, and people need to know how to deal with stress better. And that's why he recommends mindfulness for everybody. But it's a needed first step. You have all of these diseases. People always come to Dr. Reese. Hey, Dr. Reese, what do I do about my diabetes? What do I do about my arthritis? And he'll say, those are just names. Those are just names. You have to understand that, like, these diseases are just larger manifestations of symptoms, and you have to trace them back to the root. All of these diseases have a root. Some of them can have a different root. Like, you can have a root cause, 2 different root causes, and it be the same condition. So from 2 different people, they can have 2 different root causes to the same disease. So we need to see the full story, and it starts with the analysis. So if you're interested in the analysis, just start by going to www.calldrreese.com.
You want to find out your symptom score.
Yep.
Once you know your symptom score, that's your starting point.
And then the rest of the membership, you're just working on bringing it as low as possible.
I had a big one that I just did.
How big?
This woman had a 38. I think it was a 30. Wait, it might have been a 42. I don't remember, but it was either late upper 30s or lower 40s, but it was pretty high. It's one of the highest I've ever seen. So
I think I know what you're talking about.
This person has a lot of work to do. Get in that membership and start working and start bringing the score down. Right? You always want your symptom score to be a 5 or less.
That's the goal. It's the goal of the young longevity. Any other questions, Karen?
Yeah, there's quite a bit of conversation here. Let me just. Angela was saying that, speaking of lab rats, my blood is boiling. I recently was on a telehealth call with my son, with a nutritionist, and a woman asking me all kinds of family history questions. I had to tell her that I'm going to take my child elsewhere. He realizes it's not genetics.
Yeah, you know, the medical monopoly, they're stuck. They're stuck, and you might be surprised to know that a lot of them, they prescribe drugs just to get the person out of the office.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, all right, solution time. Here you go. Bye.
Get out.
Who's next?
Yeah.
Or to get them in the office.
Or to get them in the office. Yep. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's such a carousel of frustration. It's just genetics. Everything's genetics. Oh my gosh. They're basically saying you're unlucky. Sorry, you're unlucky. Your mom and dad screwed you up. Sorry. Sorry. Here's a drug. It makes no sense. None. Genetics is like your eye color. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your hair color. That's genetics. How tall are you? That's genetics. My dad was 6'1". My mom was 4'11". I'm 5'9". It makes sense. It's right in the middle.
Yeah.
Genetics. That's genetics.
It's just,
That's genetics.
it's crazy.
Sam in the Zoom room says Bobby Kennedy will help change all of this.
Maybe. He's still up against the FDA, the AMA, the Food Corps, and they all donate to the political aspect.
They lobby.
They lobby.
They're all in between. It's a monster at this point.
Yeah, it's unstoppable. The only thing that will stop it is people changing.
Yeah.
You know?
Still, though, I mean, it's pretty exciting to see that mainstream media is talking about fluoride in the water and, you know, all these other health things.
I don't know if mainstream media is going that far.
No. I mean, RFK is like, it's up there, you know?
Like on CNN or social media.
Well, I just know that it's really up there. I'm not like a nerd about it. I'm just trying to put me on the spot here.
No, I just don't think that it's mainstream. I think he's doing his best on social, of course. But
Right, so then every time you go viral on social media, I'm going to be like, you didn't get 4 million.
What? Anyways.
trying to figure out the point of that.
Anything else, Karen?
Yeah. Angela was saying, your videos have given me the strength to tell off the medical system today. He used a few other colorful words, but I'll leave those out.
I like colorful words.
That's good to hear,
And
though.
then one of our members, newer members, was saying, can bowed legs be fixed through posture therapy?
Yes, and nutrition. You might be surprised to know certain nutrients have something to do with bow legs and knock knees.
Some of our members are not telling their providers anything. They feel like that's the best strategy these days.
Yeah. If you're forced to go, like if you're on Medicare, I think you're forced to go once or twice a year. Then you just go get your little lab, say hello, and leave.
Yeah.
And if they say, what are you doing? Say, I do this, this natural thing, and I'm good with that. Just don't say my name.
We have some other kind of just random questions here. One is, what are your feelings on the neti pot?
It's 50-50. Some people have success with it, and some people get harm from it. So.
And then Donna in the room was saying, what is the number one drug? Is it Lipitor?
No, I forgot the name of it, but it's not Lipitor. It's some sort of pain reliever. It'll be in the book.
And Catherine's in the room. She says, I'm a proud member. Can you cook once a night for us, or once a week for us? It would be really fun.
Dinner with Dr. Reese. Yeah. There's some wild comments underneath that video. Well, one of the goals is to move to a bigger place and have a big kitchen so that we can showcase that aspect. So we just need 500 more members. Spread the word.
Yeah.
So we do have some questions on Facebook. And one is, Pina's saying that I really need your books. And Mona's saying that the FDA works for big pharma. So we're in a pinch there.
And the food corporations.
They can't make money from healthy food, says Yvonne. Amber says, thank you so much for speaking out, Dr. Reese.
You're welcome. Is that our Amber?
No, this is a different
Amber.
Amber.
Oh, okay. I want to
And
meet new Amber.
Lori Mills says, everything is so expensive to buy to eat healthy.
Yeah. I mean, it's so much cheaper to get some Doritos and some Pepsi, or it's even cheaper if you get the knockoff version of the soda and the knockoff version of the chips. And you can feed a whole family on $50 if you get all junk food. But it's just not the case. And so, I mean, I spend a boatload on food, and I don't do anything fancy. It's just the prices are outrageous right now.
Yeah.
You know? Steaks are like, man.
So expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, steaks are wild.
It's crazy.
Lori Mills on Facebook is asking, why does my back hurt and burn so bad when I'm doing regular household chores? Standing up doing the dishes is the worst, and my feet hurt so bad. It's a ridiculous amount of pain every single day just doing normal things.
Yeah, you're out of alignment. Your muscles don't like you right now, so you just have to make them like you. You know? And that's where your PAT classes are going to come in, and getting on the 90 and et cetera, et cetera. And then, boom, one day you'll be doing the dishes. You won't even notice. You're going to do the dishes for like a whole month and not even notice that you're not in pain. Because it's so subtle.
Yeah.
Suzette's asking, can someone share when there will be a way to get rid of diabetes?
When there's a way?
Well, she used the cure word.
Oh. Well, we have the blood sugar protocol in the membership, so.
So it might be good for her to do an analysis and.
Is she a member or is she social?
She's on social.
Oh, yeah. You got to tell me so I can treat them differently.
Okay. And that's the same with Lori Mills. She's the one that's doing the chores and it hurts so badly. She's not in the membership yet either.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
you
starts,
gotta. Yeah, you got to get your analysis and get in. Doors waiting for you. Walk through.
Well, and with that too, I don't know if people realize it, but one of the reasons why you extended is because we had so many people booking calls with us, we couldn't get to everybody.
Yeah.
So if you are remotely interested, it's super important to get in sooner than later. So that way we can get you the information, and you can make decisions from there. Because the month, well, it's a holiday month. It's going to go fast.
Thanksgiving is next week.
Well, the end of the month.
Jeez.
Maybe at your house. Let's see. Mark has a question. He's on one of the socials. Any idea why eating grass-fed beef makes me really sick?
Well, there could be a number of reasons. You know, maybe the grass is sprayed. Who knows? It's too hard to pinpoint. But then maybe you don't have stomach acid.
Yeah.
You know, you got to get an analysis to know that. If you don't have stomach acid, you're not going to be able to handle meat very well.
So back to the members room, Felicia is suggesting, where could we share our recipes, no pour for foods, creative meal plans?
Where to share them that they're doing?
Yeah, it might be good on our members meeting on Thursday.
Yep, you can share it there. You could share it in our Facebook group, Head to Toe Healing with Dr. Reese, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can also share it in the community if you want. We have a community right on the membership website, which I don't want to say out loud to the public. But you know what it is.
You know what it is.
Joellen is in the membership, and she says she buys beef from a farmer, grass-fed, and they ship.
That's great. Yeah, if you can buy directly from a farmer, that's the way to go.
Less middlemen.
Another question from Felicia. She's saying, is it normal to feel more pain before things get better after posture alignment therapy? I'm imagining that after years and years of being out of alignment, it might hurt at first.
Yes, absolutely. And you might be surprised to know that you might get better and you'll be so happy. And then 3 months later, a new pain comes. Like pain, you know? And you're like, what the heck is this? That's what happened to me. I started getting headaches. It's just part of the process because, you know, you're trying to put your body back.
Yeah.
And you're fighting through the muscles because it's the muscles that are holding you in place. Right? Muscles move bones. This doesn't move unless the muscles move it. So you got a whole bunch of muscles just puppeteering you. Anyway.
No.
Oh.
Poor guy.
What is the cause of when the body clicks and makes funny noises when you do PAT? Kind of like crunching sounds.
Yeah. It's bone spurs. It's bone spurs.
Could be in the back, could be in the arms, everywhere.
It could be everywhere, yeah. It's just like getting a callus on your toe or something. It's just your body is trying to protect itself from friction.
Jeez.
Wow.
Crunch, 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 crunch.
Yeah. I know that crunchy feeling. I still get crunching.
Yeah, me too.
One of our members says, I was constipated until I started eating grass-fed beef. Now everything moves great every day.
Excellent. We should have a Tuesday where we talk nothing but bowel movements.
Sure.
Bowel movement Tuesday.
Clarification from Felicia. Clarification on scar tissue. Can that also cause that crunchy feeling as well?
Probably not. But it can cause tightness.
Could it be bunched up fascia?
It wouldn't crunch though. Bunched up fascias would be like knots. You ever get a knot? Anyone get a knot from PAT yet? And you're like, whoa, there's a thing sticking out of my skin. You're like, whoa. I thought this is supposed to help me.
So over on the socials, Suzette is asking, my HDL is 146. Should I be worried? I was given a statin, but I don't take them.
No, you should never be worried about cholesterol. Yeah, keep your eye on your triglycerides. That's what matters.
Debbie on the social says, can I get your audio book instead of the physical book? How do I do that?
Yep. Booksbydrreese.com. Booksbydrreese.com. And when you're ready, call drreese.com.
Someone is on IG is asking, can your membership help cervical stenosis and DDD of the spine?
Of course.
Easy fix.
Easy.
You'd be surprised how easy it is. You just gotta go to the class, show up.
What else we got? Anything on YouTube?
I'm looking at Facebook. We have more on Facebook.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
There's always
Uh,
plenty.
I have a question regarding swollen feet or foot. My grandmother had it and my dad has it now. And so do I. The doctors are saying it's too much salt. What do you say, Dr. Reese?
I say that it's probably your kidney, because that's what filters out your liquids. So get healthy from head to toe.
Lori's in the socials over here. She says, "Thank you so much for doing my analysis. I just got it and viewed it today. I'm 6 points away from a hot mess. I definitely."
Okay, so she's a 22. Oh wait, a 24. A 30 for those at home. A 30 is a hot mess. If you have 30 symptoms, you are a hot mess. You don't want to be a hot mess. You want to be 5 or less. 5 or less.
One of our members, Felicia, is asking, is wine a poor for food?
It's not a poor for food. You can bathe in it if you want. But
What about ice cream?
ice cream is not a poor for food as long as you make sure that there's not an ingredient that has gluten. Make sure there's no wheat. Make sure there's no oils in there.
Mm-hmm.
You can make it from scratch out of my cookbook. You know, throw a Lara bar on top, you're in business. But going back to the wine, there are situations where we do take people off of the wine if they're having an issue that's not going away. So that's important to state. Same with coffee. Coffee and wine are those two X factors that they're not poor for. You can have them, but if you're not seeing the results that you want, try getting off them for 60 days and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get off coffee, you're not going to go back. There's no way you're going to go back to the zombie juice.
I've heard that multiple times.
It's like, you know, quitting cigarettes and then having one after a few months. Like you don't want to go back, you know.
Toby in the members room says, "Oh my God, Dr. Reese's ice cream in his cookbook is the best."
Oh.
See? I'm trying to told you.
And Felicia's asking, how long does it usually take to go from a hot mess to a 5?
It depends on the person. Usually a good 5 to 10 symptoms will go away inside of the 120 program.
Yep.
Sometimes more. And then you might just have a stubborn 10 more symptoms that take another year or two.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on the 120 program? What is that?
That's our main program that is inside the membership. It is the Jumpstart, the head to toe healing. And I recommend everyone do it so that when January 20th rolls around, you can celebrate. It's a holiday.
120.
120.
And for people that have digestive issues, how is it best addressed in our program?
I would do the 120. I'd do the 120 because the first month is dedicated to the gut.
Yep.
And then back over to the socials, Gail is asking, what can be done for MS?
The MS, I would go 120 as well. The 120 program. And then after that, just keep chipping away at it with the PAT classes and the 90 Essential. And You'll get there.
We're back to another liquid question in our members room. What about tequila?
Tequila's good for the gut. It's got probiotics. Just don't drink the worm.
Toby's asking in our members room, how do I get off coffee? I just don't know how to stop it.
Well, you just start drinking waffy.
So it's a substitution.
Yeah, you just switch it out with waffy. It's in the membership. It's in the acid reflux program.
I wonder if they're on the 90.
Hard to say. Isn't alcohol bad for the liver? Says Rhonda.
Of course.
Wouldn't that also boost blood sugar?
Tequila might not. Wine might.
It seems like a lot of people that participate in our membership, those cravings go away after they get rid of the poor four foods and they get the proper nutrition, that they're just not craving the sugar, the carbs, the alcohol anymore.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
That's why you want to get the analysis, because you can understand, oh, I have a blood sugar issue. Maybe it's not the best thing for me to consume alcohol or wine. It's just one of those things you'd have to know, like, what's good for you. Like, we need to know the full story. It's a little hard for Dr. Reese to give a certain answer if we don't know the information, the background. So it would be different if you had blood sugar issues. It would be different if you had soft tissue issues. Gut issues. All of these things need to be factored.
That's so true. Well, and it also is a difference between if somebody has a symptom score of, say, 7 versus 40.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And 30 or 25. Those are huge contributing factors.
I would say mostly in the 120, you need to just lock in. Like, you need to just get the same consistent meals. Just do the same thing. Don't worry about cheating. Cheating's just going to ruin your progress. That 80-20 stuff is just unnecessary. It's just feeding the addiction still. And because when you finally get your addiction, it's going to be like, you're going to overdo it. You're going to overdo it. You're like, in that little 20 period, you're just going to be overconsumed and ruin your results. You need to just stay consistent for 120 days. Watch the results. And most of the time, you won't even crave the addiction anymore.
Yeah.
That's the magic of the 120.
Think of all those fad diets out there that says you can have one cheat day.
Yeah.
And really with our program, you don't want to do that because it sabotages yourself and sets you in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 120, I like what Sean said. Just lock in. Just lock in. Just your 120 days. Just, this is it. It's the playoffs.
Yeah.
What's amazing too is when people decide to do the analysis with you, a lot of times it's very shocking and eye-opening. I've heard from many folks that they said, I didn't even realize I had a blood sugar issue, but I had so many symptoms in that category that it explained why so many things were falling apart in my body.
Well, my favorite is bunions. So many people don't know they have bunions or they're about to have bunions. And I always find that.
You're going to Bunionville.
You're going to Bunionville. I go right in on those feet. And neck hump, too. The hump on the upper neck. So a lot of people don't know.
With that, it's so, especially for an aging population, a lot of people that come see us are anywhere between 50 to 70 years old. And the worst fear is falling and breaking. And if the feet and the legs and the pelvis are not stable, the odds of that happening are far greater. And so once they're in the program, they're starting to strengthen and stabilize their body and getting the muscles to move the bones where they're supposed to do. It reduces that risk significantly.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely.
So we have another question over here in the socials. Mona's saying, what fast food can I eat? That's okay. I'm not able to cook that much.
A mookie.
Yeah, the best fast food, an apple, an orange, a banana,
Nature's fast food.
or a mookie. You just boil up some burgers. I call them a mookie. You know, it's a meat cookie. And you just eat it like a cookie. That's it. That's fast food.
Yeah.
Scrambled eggs is another one.
Well, you could even do a crock pot meal. That'd be very simple.
Yeah.
Just
We
a bunch
teach.
of good ingredients into the crock pot or the instant pot.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is what we teach our people, you know. Just throw it in, set it, and forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that video done yet? You guys did a video on it, right?
I did. Yeah.
Was it good or did it suck?
I don't know. I guess it sucked.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. I'm waiting for you to watch it.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. I have to approve it.
Can you talk about the importance of adrenal glands?
Yeah, it shoots out adrenaline when you need it. in the event of a bear attack.
It almost seems like with social media today, there's so much fear pushed in front of people that, I don't know, I've been talking to several people over the last couple of weeks that they have a lot of anxiety issues and just, I don't know if it's fear porn, if that's the right word for it, but there's so much
Fear
happening.
porn?
What, Karen?
Yeah.
I would never expect Karen to say that. That is crazy.
Sean almost just fell off the chair.
You shock me every day. Oh my god.
Fear porn.
Okay, now I'm blushing. So there's a lot of fear out there.
Yes. Fear mongering.
That's the word I was looking for.
You are very funny.
Oh my God. So men and women with this. And I think I need to mute myself.
No, you're
No,
fine.
you're good. You're good. Don't have fear porn now.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah.
going.
Yeah, you already said it.
I forgot the question though.
Anyway, this story is, it just seems like there's so much fear mongering happening in society today
Yes.
that your mindfulness training is super helpful
Yeah.
to help people really work on their subconscious mind, their inner child, even though they don't realize that might be a huge difference for them.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing that people are scared of, or the three biggest things that people are scared of, is cholesterol, parasites, and adrenals. And the sea monster, of course, but that's in its own category.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a few more questions in the members room.